All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I will easily say DJT and Soundhound had a little bit of a different day than I expected them to. I think both are very easy to see why and how it happened, and that's really what this video is about. Again, we're not here for just a couple day trades, right? Like I'm here for sustainable uptrends, and that's what they're both still trying to form. All right. DJT, I think the real issue for me was this 24-hour trading, all right? On Friday, this stock closed at what, 30 bucks. I think after hours Friday, it was around 31, maybe even 32. By end of day yesterday, there were a whole mess of $37 screenshots. This thing moved 21% without me even being able to buy. And you can see it was 11 p.m. my time. I'm telling you, I was up. I was trying to set my plan, and it was so hard to do it with this 24-hour trading. So I'm really curious if you are able to take advantage of it, if you are not. But I mean, if you watched my video, my plan was to trade from 30-something all the way to 40-something. And I mean, my goodness, we opened today all the way up here at 46, right? So my entire trade plan was killed, basically. And look, I didn't chase it, right? You come with the plan, and you either execute it or you adjust if it's not there. And that's really what I had to do, all right? So I'm going to talk about that with this one. With Soundhound, look, I said that this thing looks like it wants 7, and I'm going to continue it by saying this thing looks like it wants 7, all right? The thing is, look at this RSI. The RSI was 90. All right, day before, RSI was 84. Like, those are really, really hot numbers. I wish it didn't go as low as it did. I would have liked it to kind of stay around 580-ish. Again, I'll go over all the whys in that. But look, this is actually still a bullish chart to me, all right? And it's a matter of what happens at the next critical points, all right? So that's what I'm going to talk about on both of these. You know I'm excited to talk about all this and more, but before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated. All right, so clearly a lot of Donald Trump headlines over the last few days. Clearly, that's why and not just a whole mess of people thought it, right? Excuse me, it seemed like DJT was going to have a big day today, and look, it did, all right? The issue was, man, this did not go the way I expected it to, all right? And I'm very not familiar with 24-hour trading, all right? I'm not here to tell you what broker I use. I'm not endorsing things here and there, but there is 24-hour trading, and it seems like it's only on Robinhood, right? I'm getting some people that were giving me some answers. We talked about it a bunch down there. Hello to all the new people. Let's give you some waves. I'm really surprised I didn't do this earlier, but hi there. It's really, I'm using the word unfair. I feel like I'm like a crying baby here, right? But it was really unfair to me to have this thing run to 37, and I was unable to buy. I do not have my money with Robinhood. I'll be honest with you, and my broker does not allow 24-hour trading. So I'm seeing screenshots of like 33, 34, 35, 36. I saw so many people talk about 37, and I was just so confused. And like I said, I came here at 11 p.m. man. I'm normally deep asleep by 11 p.m. and my Webull was showing this, right? This platform wasn't even showing the 30-something, right? It literally took most of the trade that I wanted to make in the morning. And I go back to what I say in the beginning. I had a plan. My plan was break these lines and go to this one. When that came and went, I couldn't chase. All right, and that's what I hope is the biggest thing you take. Look, I actually still think this isn't that bad a chart, and I for sure am watching this thing go down post market, right? Like, I see that this isn't that bad a chart, but we just didn't get the move we wanted, right? And again, I think the one chart that this again reminds me of, and I feel like I've mentioned this a couple times, is Rivian. So Rivian makes a big pop, all right? It actually opens all the way up here. Look in the box over there. It opens all the way at 1630. It opens well above the 200, ends up falling just below the 200, all right? I'm sorry, not closing below, all right? From there, we just kind of head down a little bit, down it a little bit, but that 8 moving average catches up, 8 moving average catches up, and lo and behold, we've made our way up, all right? I can see that happening with DJT. We gap up all the way up here to 46. Unfortunately, we closed just a little bit under the lines. We're now making our way down, but hey, this 8 should be coming up now. All right. And it is monsterly critical that we don't lose the 8 moving average. Look, I'm not here pretending I know the math behind this line, right? I'm looking at the slope that kind of looks like that. I think tomorrow this thing's going to open around 33. Listen, this can come all the way down to $33 and still be bullish. All right. All we're doing is going from the top of these lines to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, to the top, to, like, we're still fighting the lines, right? And that's what we're looking, if don't lose 33. All right. Do not lose 33. Arguably, you can say don't lose 32, because again, you can see in the box over there, 32.03, literally. 32 is the 200 moving average. But yeah, keep me over 33. I think this will still be bullish. The issue is, look, from this 37 that we're sitting at right now, there's still, goodness, another 10% down this could go for that 33 number that I'm talking about, right? So this is how I use the moving averages, right? And I saw so many people talking about 50s, 60s. I mentioned one guy on the Discord talking about 80s. I know I saw a comment about hundreds. I saw another comment about, like, the rules don't matter with these kind of stocks. Look, the only reason I set my rules is because I've lost so much money not having the rules, all right? I'm not here pretending technical analysis is a crystal ball, is guaranteed, none of that. No. I'm just trying to set the best expectation and either pile on if I'm right or adjust if I'm wrong, all right? And again, I'm going to end it with what I started it. My issue, where is it? It took away most of the trade that I wanted to make. And that was so disappointing. It was so frustrating. Let me know if you took advantage of that 24-hour trading. Like I said, I've never used it. I've actually never even seen it affect one of the stocks that I was looking at, right? So this very much was a learning experience for me. I don't know if I'm going to now need to open a second account in a 24-hour brokerage. I know I'm probably going to call my broker and be like, hey, what happened here and what's your plan and this and that, right? But yeah, I will say it one more time. I think 24-hour trading really messed up what could have been a very beautiful 33% gain if we went from those 30s to the 40s that we were hunting. And hey, I mean, you can even see it. It actually even hit 54 at one point. Damn, Austin, I missed you too. My bad. Hello there. Look at that, 53, 54. Like, oh man, it was such a good trade. 24-hour trading, you hurt me. Stay above 33, and all I can do is actually say this is bullish. Look, big volume, right? I do not want this thing to dump. We cannot have anything lower than 40 million shares, all right? If I'm looking for 40 million shares in a 7-hour day, we need at least 6 million shares an hour. And hey, even 40 is almost a 50% drop from here, right? I probably should have used closer to 60, which means we need a little closer to 10 million, right? 8.5 as you see here, right? So give me anywhere from like 6 million to 9 million shares, and I think I'll be comfortable. Get me over 4170. All right, so let's jump down to the present, because I know that's pretty much where I ended. Like, look, we're talking about these ones that I'm talking about now. Give me a second. I'm so sorry. Give me a second. My wife is Indian, and so is this dude's wife, so that's what all those jokes were about. I'm so sorry to scroll like this. My goodness, I don't even know why I'm doing that. I apologize. Listen, get me over these two lines. Get as of today's close, they're basically sitting each at $41.62 and 63 cents. Get me into 41.80. Get me into $42, right? Get me over those two lines. Oof, and I'm going to start thinking some bigger numbers, right? RSI is still healthy at 61. MACD is not quite positive, but we got some good divergences. Give me that 60-ish million shares. I'm a little embarrassed I said 40 something. That was actually a little too low, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Please let me know if 24-hour trading worked for you. Hey, if you made some good money on it and it messed me up, I will actually be happy for you. I'm not going to like hate on that. That's not my game here, all right? Let's move to the next one, and it is Soundhound. All right, really quickly. I said on the weekend's video that this thing smells like $7, all right? This thing dropped 10%, and I'll be honest, I really wasn't actually expecting it. I think what made it even a little bit worse is it actually gaps up. It actually opened at 6:30. We closed Friday at 6:20, so not a massive gap up, right? But a 10-cent gap up only to fall 9% on the day. That's a little annoying, right? But I talked about it, and I'll go over it in details. I think the RSI was a big reason why, all right? So real quickly, please, if you can subscribe, if you can share, I appreciate it so much. It helps a lot with these algorithms. So listen, there are moments, all right, where the news will do crazy things, all right? And we've seen Soundhound go, and it actually goes all the way to that line up there. Like this thing ran 5x on news, all right? We talked about how it looked like, it felt like this was another important news moment, all right? We were living at an average of 100 million shares. All of a sudden, we're starting to see that 100 million shares again, right? So there was some good. And hey, one thing to remember is there was a little bit of a hold before it took off. And even when we got the news, there was still a little bit of a hold before it continued, right? So just kind of keep all that in mind. Really, what happened here, in my opinion, was the RSI got way too high. All right, so when we click in the box over there, you can see the RSI was a 90. Look, an RSI, the max it should go is 80. Textbook is 80 is too high, and we need to come back down for a healthy cool down. And then on the opposite, 30 is too low. If something's been sold, it really should like find itself around 30 and then hopefully head back up to 80. So when you see a 90 right there, when you see that the day before was an 84 right there, right? You start to kind of think to yourself, hey, there's probably a cool down coming, all right? We talked about, oh man, I'm not going to scroll again because that's going to be dumb. Let's do this. Give me a second. I talked about it right here. So this is what I was looking for on Soundhound, all right? So where I really wanted it to close was about half of the Friday. And I mentioned that like 580 number, right? 575, whatever we want to call it. That's where I was hoping today closed. We clearly went well below that. We probably lost 60%, right? And we probably held 30%. The one thing though is this right here is probably our strong support region, all right? We have a very important 530 resistance, and I know we've been talking about that resistance for a good while. You can see we bounced it right there. Bad things did happen when we lost it right there. Kind of tried, and then we're back to here, right? So this has been an important line. 100 moving average is the second most important line, right? Like we got 5 of them and it's the second to last one. And again, I'm not here pretending I know the math. I'm seeing an 8 moving average that's going up, and it kind of looks like that's give or take the slope of it, right? So to me, we can come all the way down to here and actually still be bullish, all right? It is critical that we don't lose. Look, it looks like that 100's actually kind of coming. 515. I think 515 is probably the lowest I'm willing to accept. Ideally, between 515 and 530, we catch the fall, we gather our landing. Hey, we can come down just a little bit more, like I'm saying, and maybe we'll even get this RSI into the 50s, and then boom, we rip from the 50s back to the 80s, maybe even try to push high 80s to 90s again, right? So things need to cool down, all right? I know we're used to these like rocket, rocket, greens. It's not really how it works. Things get hot, things cool down, things keep running. That's actually a very healthy, and that's what a sustainable good uptrend looks like. All right. So when we look at the weekly, I mean, again, you can literally see it, right? We basically have our 20 moving average sitting right there. We're actually still looking very nice off of this weekly. And hey, even if we come all the way down to exactly 511, I would even say 511 is still 50% of that weekly candle, right? So 515, let's not go anywhere below that, and hopefully we catch ourselves and go. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so much.